Intentional. I'm going to try to remember a few stories that I don't think I've told with this group. If you've heard it before, bear with me. If you haven't heard it and you think it's worth laughing, you go ahead and laugh. If you don't understand it, I'll stick around a few minutes and explain it to you. There's this lady in the hospital had been in a car accident, her and her husband. Her husband was killed instantly, and she was banged up bad and was unconscious for 4 or 5 days. Finally, when she came to come to, she told the doctor that she'd had an out-of-body experience. She said, I was like up there on the ceiling, looking down at the doctor, to hold my legs together, the bones together. And of course, nobody took that very seriously. But she said, while I was out, she said, God came by, and I said to him, am I dead? And he said, no, I don't think so. He said, let me see. Oh, you've got about another 35, 40 years to live. So while she's in this recuperating in the hospital, she was getting pretty well back together, so insurance company had settled with her husband's, and she was going to be coming up for her settlement. She thought, well, I've got the money. If I'm going to live another 35, 40 years, I might as well have a facelift. And I might as well, if I'm going to have a facelift, I might as well have a tummy tuck. And on top of all of that, she went ahead and had that done. And by the time she got through, she had her hair dyed red. They told her she could go home the next day. The next day come and she put together the stuff she had there in the hospital and picked up the phone, called a cab. The cab company said no cabs available, no any schedule at all. Well, she only lives about 3 blocks from the hospital, especially if she went out through the ER and out to the street. So she took off down there, out through the emergency room and out the driveway towards the street. All of a sudden she heard a siren. And here comes the ambulance, and they made a way big swing and ran into her, killed her. She gets up in heaven and she says to God, I thought you said I had another 40 years to live. And he looked at her and he said, oh, Evelyn, I didn't recognize you. They had sold their farm to their son, and they had never had opportunity to travel, so they had agreed that they'd spend the next 2 years traveling around the world and seeing the sights of other parts of the countries. So they went to Italy, and they went to France, and they went to Sweden, over into Russia, and went to China, took in some of the other states around the country. And they finally got kind of tired of living out of a suitcase most of the time. They decided, well, they'd had enough travel, so they'd going to settle down and see what went on here in the States. So this one morning, the guy was reading or had it on the TV, I guess, and was advertising his trip to the Holy Land. And they had never been to the Holy Land, so they decided they'd go on. It turned out that this group had its capacity and they couldn't take any more with them. So they hesitated about going at all, and finally decided that they could join the group after they got over there and they could make the side trips and all that. So they went over, joined up with these people, and they'd been there about a little over a week. And this one, I think it was a Monday morning, the guy getting dressed and getting ready to go. And he keeled over right there in the hotel room. The lady called 911, of course. They came and put him back on the ambulance. She climbed in the ambulance with him and they went off to the hospital. Well, he just didn't make it. He died right there now in the emergency room. So she was busy making the arrangements to get back to the States, send the body back here for burial. The undertaker called her to the side one day and he said, you know, this is going to cost you about around $10,000 by the time you fly your husband back to the States, and all the taxes and stuff that goes on, and the handling and special handling. He said, there's a little cemetery out here. He said, I could get you a lot in there, have a funeral service, and save you. Oh, he said, I could probably do that for about $800. And she looked at him and said, no way. Continue getting ready to go back to the States. She says, I want him back there. I want to know that he's out there in that cemetery in a concrete vault. And that he's not going to come back, because he said, just yesterday we visited an area where a man had been killed and died and put in a tomb. And on the third day he arose. She says, I want to know where he is.
Good one.
I got another one on that long.